Hi everyone, welcome to the information session for arrivals and housing. As always, we are going to start with the land acknowledgement. So we respectfully acknowledge the territory in which we gather as the ancestral homelands of the Beothuk and the island of Newfoundland as the ancestral homelands of the Mi'kmaq and the Beothuk. So we would also like to recognize the Inuit of Nunatsiavut and Nunatukavut and the Innu of Nitassinan and their ancestors as the original people of Labrador. We strive for respectful relationships with all the peoples of this province as we search for collective healing and true reconciliation and honor this beautiful land together. All right. We are starting with this festive season holiday schedules, which is good news for many people, but it may not be the best news for you guys because if you're arriving early, as in before your course starts, which is January 5th or 6th. In that case, a lot of offices and many businesses, including shops, restaurants, and services may close or operate on very limited hours from Christmas until the start of the winter semester. So this year's statutory holidays are Christmas Day, Boxing Day, which is December 26th, and then New Year's Day. And January 2nd is also a holiday for Memorial University. So if you're arriving between these days, it may be not the most convenient time for you. And it is very important for you to know and that if you're intending to do shopping and other things when like by arriving early. So I have this little calendar here for you to see easily. So you see a lot of red dates, all right, from Christmas Day, but Christmas Eve is also kind of like, everyone starts to feel festive and then start close early. So it may be a little hard to do anything done, hard to get anything done. So, and it goes through January 4th, and then January 5th, the university is finally open, and all these offices are in full swing. And with student residencies, check-in date is the 5th of January, and lecture begins on Tuesday, 6th of January, right? So you need to be here for the lecture begins on the 6th of January. And if well, Gabriel here is exchange students, and then I know that there is going to be a exchange students information session that day in the afternoon. And 7th is important because we are going to host the CNN MCP clinic with TD Bank and the immigration advisors on site. I'm going to check up on this a little later, but I wanted to show you all the red dates and then the implications that it may have on your arrival. So remember this, and I'm going to talk about this. So let's go to the next slide. So arrivals form. I am sure every one of you here would have filled out this arrivals form already, right? Like it's the screen capture from our website. So please make sure you complete the arrivals form. And then when you have any updated information, please make sure that you update your information through this update form. So this helps us prepare for your arrival and provide right support and like better service. We cannot be prepared if we don't know that you are arriving, right? So for you to know, for us to know that you are arriving, it is very essential. And then when you are arriving, and then what your plan is generally. So again, if you have any updated information, please make sure you update the form. Or you can just email me as well. That is totally okay. I would love to hear from you. Anyways, important thing is please update your information if your plans change. And this is another very important thing, the new arrival checklist. Where is it available? It is from our website. You can go to our Internationalization Office website, some new arrivals, and then download it. Here you can see all this the lists that you need to complete um, like before your arrival and after your arrival. So you will see it is very easy, but then it is really good to check everything so that you are prepared. So please go download this checklist and then make sure you check every list. So before you leave, I just want to highlight some things though, that you have to make sure that you have all the required documents, especially for your immigration when you come to the first airport in Canada. So it is the first airport you get go through the immigration. So it should be about maybe Vancouver, Toronto or Montreal would likely be your port of entry. So that's where you get your study permit and everything done, not in St. John's Airport. So there's the old, you can check all the required documents here and make sure you have all of them with you. And early health insurance is only for the students who are arriving before January 1st. And then we are going to go on this, the next slide, just to go to the next one. Accommodation arranged, it's going to be dealt a little bit more in the housing section, but you have to make sure where you're going when you arrive in St. John's. Okay, because there is no place on campus that you can just go and then stay. And it's going to be very, very cold. So you don't want to be stranded when you're arriving here. So please make sure that you have your accommodation arranged before you depart. And taxi fare from the airport. So one good thing about the St. John's that I like about is the airport is super close. So it is only about like is that Len 6 kilometers from the campus actually to the airport. It takes about 10 minutes by taxi. So it's not going to be too expensive, but then taxi fares generally like pretty high in Canada, I would say. So about 30 to $40 if you are staying in St. John's City. So please have that ready. And American dollars are not really commonly used here, so it has to be Canadian dollars. Make sure that you have some Canadian dollars with you when you come here, because you know you may need cash. Or credit card is very, very generally used here. So if you have internationally working credit card, then it would be very useful. But the other thing is, please make sure that is internationally like available, because some students I saw that they said they brought like it's supposed to be internationally used a credit card, but then they try to use and it wasn't working. So make sure with your bank or credit card company before you come here that it's going to be working in Canada. Okay. And for the last thing, but not least, is essentials for your first 2 week things, your medication, or even like essential food items. If you have any, make sure that you are prepared at least for your first 2 week, because the stores here may be a little different from your where you're coming from. It's a little scattered. A lot of things are a little scattered because Canada is a big country, I think. So just remember this. So I said I'm going to touch on this early health insurance again. So here we are. So foreign health insurance coverage starts from January 1st to April 30th if you are registered for winter semester. And where you are you are in the yesterday's health insurance, so you must know that we are covered by GuardMe, and it is effective from January 1st. So if you are arriving on January 1st or after, you don't need to do anything. It is automatically added on your plan. However, if you're arriving before January 1st, then we strongly recommend you purchase the early arrival insurance. Like, well, I hope everyone here doesn't have to go see a doctor or a hospital the whole time you are here, but you don't know what'll happen, right? We don't know like what'll happen to me. So it is better to be prepared, and then you want to be insured the whole time while you are here, because Canadian medical costs can be very expensive if you don't have this insurance. So how you can do it, like I have it in the like screen here. So when you go to this website, you can click the early arrival here, right? And then you can follow the procedure. It's pretty easy. You don't need any policy number or anything. And then you can apply for insurance. If you have any dependents like your spouse or children, you can buy theirs as well through the same procedure. And I would like to promote two things through this information session. The first one is CNN MCP clinics on campus. So what it means is that there are two things that every international student must have. Like it's not must if you're not planning on working, but a lot of students want to have a part-time job at least, right? So in the case you need to have this SIN number. When you're working, the employers are going to ask you to submit your SIN number. So to get it, you can get it from Service Canada. And MCP, well, you must know now because you are in the health insurance information session yesterday. So it is a provincial medical care plan. So you want to get this if you are staying here more than a year. So usually to apply for this, you need to go to Service Canada or do it online or like contact them separately. But so the clinics means here that they are coming to our office to meet you, international students in person, and then help you to apply quick and easy. So you can do it in person. All you need to do is to come to our office, internationalization office. And another important thing is you must bring the required documents with you because without that, you cannot get it done. Um, you can see all the required documents, the list on our website as well. So yes, please have our website bookmarked and then go see it every time you need any information. So I have that in the like very, very like, outstanding red letters here, right? Because it's very important. For SIN application, you need to bring your original documents, your passport, your study permit in original. For MCP though, you need physical photocopies because they have to take these documents with them, and then it is you don't want to give your original documents to them, right? So you have to bring your physical photocopies with you. What you need is your passport, your study permit, and then your enrollment verification letter, which you can get from your student service. And then it takes, well, officially 2 days. So you want to get it done. You want to have this ready before you come here or like right after you come here, before you come to our SIN and MCP clinic. So, well, I will get your questions after this if you have any questions about this as well, but I'm going to go to the next one for now. So the other program that I want to promote through this session is the Arrival Peer Support Program. I know that some of you have applied for this program. So this program is funded through the government, the provincial government, through the NLC program, which is to help you to feel welcome and then settle smoothly. So they want to welcome you. That's why they are giving us this funding to help you. settled. Um, so this service is available to regular students for now. When they submit the arrivals form, I'm sure that you would have gotten the invitation. So if you have gotten the invitation, please make sure that you apply for this service because it provides you with a pre-arrival support and airport greeting and then post-arrival community tour support. So you can get the support you need and confidence, and then you can get the peace of mind with a personalized peer arrival guidance from a peer. So essentially, they are students who have arrived maybe a semester before, a year before. So they are the same students like you guys. And then I am sure that they can be sometimes better than what I can give you in terms of the living experience and the little tips, right? So if you can, please apply. And the seats are very limited, so make sure that you apply early. If you don't have the certain, like the set arrival date, you can still apply. But the important thing is you need to let us know at least 10 days before your arrival date so that we can match you with the proper peer for you. So okay, now on to the housing part. I think the first important decision that you need to make probably is whether you want to live in on-campus housing or off-campus housing, right? Um, in this case, like normally I don't really have any preference whether you choose on-campus or off-campus because they have all good and bad. But winter semester is a little different, as I explained to you about the winter holidays and things. Although, yes, it is from January, winter semester is a little different because I showed you the snow here, right? The weather can be really cold and then it snows a lot in St. John's. So that means it can be hard to get around. The bus system is not the best in the world, so you may have to wait for the bus in the snow, in the wind, in this very slurry road pavements or something like that. And it's not very unpleasant thing. And if you have to do the groceries and then everything amidst all this, it can be a lot more stressful than you live on campus if you live on off campus. So for the winter semester, I would like to advocate for on-campus housing. Because you live on campus, you don't have to worry about taking bus anywhere. You can just go to your classroom right away, and then you don't have to worry about buying groceries or cooking, or you don't have to do anything. Well, um, all these things. And then you don't have to worry about housing needs and everything. So, well, but it is up to you, obviously. But if your work closed for on-campus housing option, please just to keep it open and then I look into it and see if it is my better option. Please apply because the application is still open. So yeah, and I've seen a lot of students who says, yeah, that was a best decision that I made to stay on campus at least the first semester, the winter semester, right? I know it can be a little, it can feel a little expensive because you have to buy the meal plans together. However, the groceries are not very cheap nowadays in Canada anymore. So, well, all I want to say is keep your mind open and then look into it. And if you don't mind things that's offered, please go for it. Because I would if I were you. Well, fall semester, spring semester, like I wouldn't say this, but for the winter semester, yes. And off-campus housing, though, it has good things as well, right? You can maybe meet, well, especially if you have a very good roommates, maybe a very exciting experience for you. But you need to do some work, a lot of work to find a good off-campus housing. And then we're going to go on to that. But just wanted to say again, this is one of the doors to Peyton College, the on-campus housing. Anyways, it looks nice in the fall. So apply online or contact housing at Monda.ca if you're interested. And check-in date is January 5th, and it's from 9 a.m. It's very important because a lot of flights to St. John's arrive like 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. Some of you may have the tickets that arrive that day, right? And very late at night or rather early morning. In the case, well, even though you're arriving on January 5th, you have to wait until 9 a.m. to check in. That means you may have to wait in the airport or get a hotel room. So please check the arrival, not only date, but the time as well. And off-campus housing, yay! Do you see all the snows? Okay, so before we go into off-campus housing and then how to look for off-campus housing, I would like to say one thing again. I recommend getting a temporary accommodation first and then find a long-term one um, when you're here, and by conducting a viewing yourself in person, because pictures can be deceiving. And if you sign a long-term lease, like 6 months or even a year, it's extremely hard to get out of this lease once you sign a lease. Okay, so in-person viewing is a really important. It is the safest way to secure a suitable place for you. And still, if you have to find the long-term one because temporary accommodation can be very costly, I know, and then please don't sign the long-term lease like 6 months. Like, don't be stuck in this situation because you really never know. I've seen too many students who are under extreme stress because they feel miserable in this place that they sign up for the long time, but then they cannot get out. So please remember that if you can, please get just temporary accommodation and then find a place by doing a in-person viewing. Or if you have to, then get a month-to-month lease, not the fixed term 6 months or a year lease. Month-to-month means you can give a notice a month before and then move out. So if it is month-to-month, it is not the worst case scenario because like if it is bad, then you have to wait until the end of the month or the whole month. So it probably is 2 months the minimum period that you need to live in one place would be just 2 months, and then you can get out. But if it is a fixed term, then it becomes very expensive, very hard. I know I'm just I keep repeating this like too many times, but I just want to tell you this so much. That's why. So remember, okay? And I ask other questions like, what would you do if you're coming again? And then they all say that, yeah, I wish I didn't sign up for the long-term lease because, I didn't know. And then the picture looked nice. Yes, the picture looked nice because maybe it was taken a long time before or only the good places that they want to show. So please protect yourself by not signing a long-term lease unless you are 100% okay. Maybe 100% is impossible unless you are 99% sure about the place that you are signing up. And then, yes, please go ahead. But if not, yeah, don't sign the long-term lease. So the temporary accommodation, I just said, it can be very costly. Yes, because it is usually just the hotels or Airbnb. And yeah, It's nightly rates and they can be pretty expensive. So Airbnb is better, more affordable option than hotels usually. And sometimes when you go to Facebook Marketplace or Kijiji, they are looking for someone who will stay for the temporarily just a year, no, sorry, just a month or just 2 weeks or something like that. If you're lucky, then you can find these. And then that is going to be the most economical way to stay temporarily. And then there are sometimes student communities on WhatsApp or there's word of mouth. I am sure that you are in touch with other students who came from the same country in some way or other because they are very active. So, well, word of mouth is a very good way to find a good and affordable place. So, if not, it's most safe and sure way, hotels or Airbnb, but everything and if there is a good thing or there's a bad thing, they can be very expensive. Okay, now on to the long-term off-campus options, where to look. So there are some options here that I listed. So the first one is called IO listing. I'm going to go on this later. It is the listings that we get from community members. So there are some people who want to rent their place to students like you, international students. And the good thing is your other international students who have studied here, they built a very good reputation. So international students have very good image and then reputations among the landlords here. So that is a very good news for you. Anyways, and then there is another one called Spaces Shared. It's you can find the link from our website as well. They partnered with a Memory University, and then um, they have these listings from community members as well. It is a very safe way if you use it if you use it properly, because the landlords, they go through all the community like criminal check and everything, and then well, the company does a lot of vetting. So maybe you want to go look into it. The downside is that there are not that many options, but yes, please go ahead and have a look if you can find something. And sometimes they offer discount on the rent if you offer to help with their housework, maybe snow clearing or things like that. So um, these options will be stated in their ad. So please, if you're interested, then go and have a look. And the third, the Facebook groups and Marketplace or Kijiji. Okay, actually, this is the most active rental listings website in St. John's. So St. John's is not that a big city. And that means like things are kind of centered. And Marketplace is the most people would go to find their tenants. So if you have actually the VPN, then you can go in and look around on what's available. And I'm going to go through this later too. And so, okay. And then other ones, student communities like the word of mouth, they are both the same thing basically, right? So just if you know anyone here, or if you get to know anyone, just spread the word, you're looking for something, and then they can connect you with someone who's like looking for someone like you. And then in the case well, if you're lucky, you need a little bit of luck, yes, but you can get a really good deals through this. So like I said, we are onto this IO listing in depth. So where is it available? You can go to our website, the Internationalization Office, like you see. And then when you go to new student and off-campus housing, and there's housing options, and you can find our listing and you can see this. Then you can click this. Well, it has November 20th listing here, but I update it every week or bi-weekly, depending on. And when you click, what you can see is the table with all these options. So you can find how much the rent is, housing listing price. And then security deposit is also here. In Newfoundland, you are supposed to be asked up to 75% of monthly rent for security deposit. If everything goes well and then there's no damage when you move out, you can get it back. So the landlord is holding this money just in case something happens, right? And it is supposed to be only up to 75% of the rent. So for example, if the rent is 500, the security deposit maximum is $375. So there's that very important information in the first column. And then the third column has what is included, the amenities, right? If the utilities are all included, it is there. If it is not included and nothing is included, then it is called POU. POU means pay your own utilities. So electricity, heat, and Wi-Fi are the common utilities, and then it can be very different throughout the months because winter it can cost a lot more for heating, but summer, well, you don't cost it doesn't cost that much to heat the house because it's not too cold. I mean, it is warm, right? So anyways, so you have to read everything, every fine print really carefully to see what you are getting into. And then location is another very important thing. So you can click it and then you can see it in the Google Map. And then you can find how to get to the campus by using the directions function, right? So just check and then and see if it is manageable for you. And then I also have some more information here, like if it is walking distance or it is easy access to bus route, but sometimes it is far. So please make sure where it is on the map, and then if you can come to the campus without too much hassle. And what unit descriptions here and everything, the landlord name is here. It's not all landlord. Sometimes it can be subletting. So it's from your fellow students who are looking for the roommates. So just to read through everything and then see if something that of interest to you. And if you are interested on the description, then you can reach out to them. And then there is a preferred communication methods here. And well, if it is email, you can email them and ask about, I'm interested in your unit. And then I am an international student coming from where, and then I'm going to be a graduate student or undergrad student. So give them a brief description or introduction of yourself. If you just ask, oh, is it available? You may not get a reply because they don't think you are serious. So just write something beforehand. So you don't have to write it each time. So, but then you can have just prepare something and then copy paste and maybe edit a little bit. But please include brief introduction of yourself. That is a tip from me. And the Facebook Marketplace looks like this, right? When you go there. And my tip here, go to sort filter section and then sort by date listed and then see the newest first. Because if it is, sometimes they're old ones, and then if it is old but then not taken, I would think there may be something wrong with the listing, right? Because the good ones are taken really fast because people are looking, and then if they see anything good, they book a viewing and then go see it, and if it is good, they take it. So see the newest first, and that you can also see like how big area you want to see. You can see all this how many units are available and things like that. And then when you see something, you can click and then see more description like here. Right. And it is very important that you read all the descriptions properly. And the pictures, yes, but don't trust the pictures too much because it can be old and maybe it is just containing the parts that they want to show. So anyways, when you go to description, like read through, and then you may have other questions because like it's not complete. Then here you can message them. Although it says, "Hi, is this available?" But if you just send it, the odds are they are not going to maybe answer you, especially the good ones. If the landlord is desperate on selling their place, maybe they will be very active in communicating with you. But if not, if their place is desirable, they may get a lot of inquiries, and then they will just go to the ones that's the most attractive to them, right? So include your brief introduction, and then, well, you have to emphasize that you are responsible. The landlords are looking for two traits. One is that you would be on time with rent payment. The other one is that you are um, well, you're clean, basically. Okay. The better one is, and then you are responsible in maintaining, upkeeping the place. So basically, they don't want to see their place damaged when you move out. So two things. Um, say that you are responsible, and then you never get late in paying the rent. And the other one is that you're a very clean and tidy person, and you will keep the place as it is in the beginning. So, and one important thing is you have to keep your word, right? But anyways, that is two most important things when you are getting a good off-campus housing. Yes, I think we are in the last slide here, so thank you. Must remember tips that I really want to tell you. So we already kind of touched on these points. Yes. The first one is keep everything in writing, because sometimes, yeah, students are very nice and then they think, oh yeah, the landlord was very nice and then said this will be this, and then they believe that'll be all um like all good. I wish that was true. But if it is not in writing, like they may, there can be like circumstances that like, but you told me this, but oh well, it is he says, she says the situation. So when there is anything important of note, please make it in writing. It can be your communications on the text message or email or anything, just to keep it in writing. And every payment that you make, please make it traceable. So like, for example, payment of security deposit when you pay it, or payment of rent, or rental agreement when you sign it, please go through what you are signing for, read every word, and then be okay. Okay. And so I'm saying this because I am seeing most students who come to me with housing issues. It's because of the lack of this process, because they didn't like put everything in the rental agreement right, and then, oh, I thought I did this, but then it was not. It is not written that way. Then you cannot really prove what you talked about, what you agreed upon, right? So please leave everything in writing. The second is no long-term commitment unless you are 100% sure or 99% sure. And unless you view the place in person, so you are sure that you want to live there. And unless you met the landlord in person, because, well, you are the best judge of a person, right? But then uh, only once you meet them in person, or at least a video call or something, and then you will know that you are comfortable with them, and then you can trust them. And even then, be careful. And unless you are 90% certain, I didn't put 100% because I understand that is impossible, but I'm just emphasizing that no long-term commitment unless you are sure. And the other one is a new thing, okay? Take pictures. It's really easy, but the surefire way to not be in trouble later. Because a lot of arguments happen, a lot of disputes happen when you move out, and then they are holding their security deposit. You believe you're going to get it right away, but then they are saying like, oh yeah, you damaged this place, the room or whatever. You didn't clean the place enough, so I cannot give you the money. You may think, no, it was like this when I moved in. To prove that, the best and easiest way is showing them pictures, because pictures have the timestamp, dates, and everything, right? So when you move in, take a lot of pictures of the place, and then, that is going to be best friend for you. So that brings to our last section, questions. Thank you so much for listening through my presentation, and I'm going to stop recording, and then maybe we can talk about your questions. Anything is welcome.